19 COVID Stories. Life After Lockdown, May 2021. The outbreak of the coronavirus cured our marriage. Or you notice I say our marriage. I have a newfound respect for my wife, Mrs. Kenton. She's paying her way now, which makes a nice change. Until the outbreak of COVID-19, I had to cough up for everything. Who paid for our wedding? Not her mob. Her old man didn't so much as tuck a fiver in my top pocket. After our nuptials, did Mrs. K go back to work? Did she fuck? As soon as I slipped the ring on her finger, she unclipped her name brooch behind the jewellery counter at John Lewis department store and plonked it straight in the display case marked retirement. Retirement? At 31? That's a laugh. Oh, don't get me wrong. I wasn't complaining. It was nice to get home from work all ragged and stressed up and be soothed with a bubble bath, a chicken tikka masala and a blowjob that would make your hair curl. I didn't even complain after her shopping binges. Believe me, she could binge. One time she bought herself a brand new Mini Cooper, and I'm a fucking car salesman. I went barking around the house like a mad dog till I found her in the bedroom. After I'd finished, it didn't seem right to go on about the Mini, so yeah, I let it go. That's married life for you, eh? Swings and roundabouts, roundabouts and swings. A kiddie would have been nice. She'd have made a smashing mum. At least it would have kept her out of the shops, eh? Well, out of the expensive shops that don't sell milk or washing up liquid. Anyway, no kiddie, eh? Que sera, sera. Problem was, Mrs. K didn't have Doris Day's chin-up, chirpy optimism. Yeah? Instead, she had her sad days. That's when I'd take her out for an evening at the Palace Casino and Spa. Very nice class of member at the Palace. They're not toffee-nosed, no snobs, but none of your riff-raff either. It's very international. A lot of Russians. Very smart bunch. Well groomed. When they're pissed, they can get a bit boisterous. Start jabbing away in their own lingo. All very animated. You're not quite sure if they're having a laugh or on the verge of a punch-up. But they're good lads. Big-hearted too. Always forking out for the next round. Mind you, they're not shy of a few quid. And the cars... We had a few good nights in their company, me and Mrs. K. Then whoosh, the virus. And I'm not moving any cars anymore. Lockdown, my business was locked up and the guards had chucked away the keys and all fucked off home. Even before the virus crisis, things had been getting tight. A new tax for diesel here, a new line in electric cars there, all the do-gooders ranting on that petrol gives you cancer. But now, mid-corona, I couldn't flog a single car. I started dumping the fucking things for scrap. I even had to borrow a few grand from the Russian lads at the Palace. And in the middle of this nightmare, I was coming home every evening to Mrs. K, who excitedly shows me the new Versace shoulder bag, the new sukiyaki kitchen knives, and a new iPhone. Whilst I was having and braving a shitstorm, she was busy buying online. She didn't even have to sign for the stuff anymore, some social distancing nonsense. Instead, she waited for Muggins to get home and threw open her legs like the drawer on a cash register. Ching ching, thanks very much, keep the receipt. The truth was, though, my interest was falling faster than a stock exchange crash. I am a businessman. I eat, sleep, talk and walk business, and I know when a deal is past its sell-by date. Oh yeah. Whilst Mrs. K was lounging about in the jacuzzi all day, social messaging and watching femme porn, I was risking an ASBO sitting in an empty office, nursing a cold cup of tea whilst gazing across a forecourt full of unwanted cars. Our marriage was coming apart at the seams, and a nice bit of midweek anal action wasn't going to plaster over the cracks. Mrs. K knew things were serious. Serious for her. She may have been carrying on in the same old way, but she knew. I suggested she might go back to work after the lockdown, and her face just fell. For a moment she looked like a right old slapper. Nah, Mrs. K's not stupid. One evening I got home, and she was sitting on the stairs, dressed only in a black nightie, legs open and purring. And the strange thing was, she hadn't bought a thing. What was this? The new deal? Only one problem. I was as interested as a Rottweiler looking at a vegetarian casserole. My mobile ringing saved the day, and I gestured for her to wait. She rolls her eyes and started polishing her nails. It was Ivan on the blower. He'd had a few and was ranting on about all the unpleasant things he and his Russian lads were going to do to my legs if I didn't pay them back, lockdown or no lockdown. I admit I was feeling the pressure, eyes darting around the room looking for a solution, and I caught sight of Mrs. K's open legs and I nailed it right there. I had the antidote to my problems, so to speak. The economic crisis caused by the world pulling a COVID-19 sickie is still rolling on, but not for yours truly, not for me. I've cleared all my debts, cut my losses, and sold off the graveyard of unloved motors to some bloke in North Africa, all negotiated over the internet. Done deal. It's life after lockdown, and I've had to diversify. I'm in management now, in the adult entertainment industry. It's amazing how much you can make from a pay-per-view Zoom room. Mrs. K has diversified too. She seems happy to be back working. Who'd have thought it, eh? Then again, it's not as if she's doing anything different to before, except now it's online and mostly in Russian.